with Genesis 22. We have in the margin for verse 6, Sagul Bat Nuch. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. Now, other monotheist religions don't accuse God of being the tempter. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up, and went into the place of which God had told him. Then, on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes, and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the donkey, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went, both of them together. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, son. Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together, and they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of God is noun and verb. Called unto him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. Well, in the Quranic account, God doesn't give Abraham the dream. It doesn't say that. And it's the angel said that, hey, I love the doers of good. You've done enough with it. It doesn't. Obviously, if God commanded, oh no, I'm just kidding. Do something good. It doesn't make sense to interpret it that way. And of course, why aren't you heading off with your teenage son? You're heading off with the infant. Someone that may still be weaning. You're trying to take them up into the mountain. You have a couple servants with you. You can't go, because if it was just the son, they could go on a private hunting trip. If it was a teenager or something, but an only son for me. See, and the only time that it was only son was Ishmael, and the Quran backs up that account. But they throw in that thing about Hagar carrying Ishmael around the desert and hiding him under a bush and stuff like this too. Obscure which son it was. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. Now see, that was there the whole time. if there's a commandment, the way to fulfill the commandment will be there, right? And Abraham called the name of that place Yahweh Yirah. Yirah. Okay, extra aleph. Well, not extra, but you know what I mean. It has an aleph in there. As it is said to this day in the Mount of God as a noun and verb, shall it be seen. And the angel of God as noun and verb called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time. Get rumbling the tumbling back and forth here. And said, by myself have I sworn, saith God as noun and verb, because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that I will greatly bless thee, and I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together unto Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things, that it was told Abraham, saying, behold, Milcah, she hath also borne children unto thy brother Nahor. Uz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazo, and Pildash, and Yidlaph, and Bethuel. You know, you don't pronounce the J's or the V's in that language. Well, I mean, you don't have that sound. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And his concubine, whose name was Rumah, she bare also Tabah, and Gaham, and Dahash, and Makkah. Oh, Makkah. Okay. And Haftarah, 2 Kings 4, 1 through 37. And as we see, we have Cheya, Sarah as the next part. My stomach wants me to feed it now. It's going to have to wait. But see, they, the phrase here is that those other wives of Abraham were, as if they were bearing children for Sarah. But here we only have Milcah and Rumah. So 4 wives total. Wihi Acher Hedbrim Halha Wa Halhim Nasa at Abraham Weamer Aliu Abraham Weamer Hani Weamer Ketchna at Bnik at Yij Yiduk Asher Ahbat at Yitzchuk Bullock Luck Al Arts Hamaria Wah Al Hu Shum Lahla Al Achid Hahrim Asher Amr Alik Wishkum Abraham Bebker Witchbush At Chimru Wikach At Shani Naryu Atu Wat Yitzchuk Banu Wipka Atsi Allah Wikum Wilak El Hamkum Asher Amr Lu Halhim Bium Hashlishi Wisha Abraham At Ainu Wira At Hamkum Merchuk We Amr Abraham Al Naryu Shabu Lakum Pa Am Tachmur Wani Wanar Nalka Ad Ka Wan Shut Chwa Yin Shuba Alikum Wikach Abraham At Atzi Hala Wisham Al Yitzchuk Banu Wikach Bidu At Hash Wat Hamaklat Wilku Shaniham Yitzdu We Amr Yitzchuk Al Abraham Abiu We Amr Abi We Amr Hani Bani We Amr Hana Hash Wahatsim Wiyaham Hasha Lala We Amr Abraham Alhim Yurahlu Hasha Lahla Bani We Laku Shaniham Yitzdu We Bow Al Hamkum Asher Amr Lu Halhim Weban Shem Abraham At Hamzabach We Ark At Hatzim We Aqad At Yitzchuk Banu Wisham Atu Al Hamzbach Mamal Latzim We Shalach Abraham At Yidu Wikach At Hamaklat Lech Chuth At Banu Wikra Eliu Malak Yahweh Man Hashmim We Amr Abraham We Amr Hani We Amr Al Tashlich Yiduk Al Hanar Wal Tash Lu Maumah Ki Ata Yadati Ki Yura Alhin Ata Wallah Chaskat At Banak At Yajidak Mamni Wisha Abraham At Ainio Wira Wahna El Acher Nachan Basbuk Bakrunu Wilak Abraham Wikach At Hail We Alhu Wow Touchet Banu Wikra Abraham Shem Hamkum Hahwa Yahweh Yerah Asher Yammer Yu Bachar Yahweh Yerah Wikra Malak Yahweh Al Abraham Shanit Man Hamshi Hashmim We'amr Bi Nishbati Nam Yahweh Ki Yan Asher Ashit At Hetber Hasa Wala Cheshkut At Banak At Yichidak Ki Berg Abrakak Wahrabah Arbah At Sarak Kekukabi Hashmim Wakchul Asher Al Shapat Him Weaverish Sarak At Shar Abu Wahtabraku Bezrak Kul Gui Hearts Aqab Asher Shemat Bakli Wishab Abraham Al Naryu Wikamu Wilku Yachdu Al Bar Shab'a Wishab Abraham Babar Shab'a Wihi Achri Had Barim Halah Wigad Abraham Lamer Hana Yildat Milka Gamhua Benim Lanchur Achik At Outs Bakru Wat Boon Achu Wat Kamual Abi Arm Wat Ketched Wat Chazi Wat Puldish Wat Yidluf Wat Batual Waptual Yield At Rubka Shimna Allah Yilda Malka Lanchur Achi Abraham Wapi Lakshu Washma Rama Yitlid Gam Hua At Thabit